Hi, this video is looking at anecdotal writing for paper 2 GCSE English Language, so non-fiction writing. So looking at anecdotal writing. Okay, so this can be for any exam board. I'm looking at it for EDUCAS, but where students tend to struggle is in their middle paragraphs. Intro and conclusion seem to be okay, but students struggle to make detailed and develop central paragraphs. So examiners say, if I quote from the examiner, they say weaker responses are often too brief or lack specific details. This is really for students who are maybe grade 3 and they're looking to get a grade 4, 5 or 6. So if you look at this one here, instead of having 7 to 10 sentences in their central paragraphs, they've got 3 there, they've got 2 there. This other one that got a grade 2, 2 sentences, 3 sentences. This person only missed a grade 4 by 1 mark, but again, not enough. 3, 3 and 2. Well, this is what you want to try and get to. 6, 7, 5. This person got a grade 5 there. First, they've got lots of mistakes in it, but their first main paragraph, 7 sentences. 7 sentences, that's what you should be looking to do. Okay, but how do we improve the paragraphs? How are we going to get from a grade 3 to grade 4, 5, 6? So the examiner says it's very important to use anecdotes and personal examples. So what is an anecdote? So a short and interesting story taken from a person's past experience or someone they know or have heard about. Really important, it is best if it is real. A bit like if you're writing a story in the first person, if it really did happen to you, it's very authentic, very convincing, it will come across. You can make it up, I would say try to make them real. You can make it up, but the most important thing is just make them, again, believable and relevant, nothing too crazy. So the examiner says it's very important to use anecdotes and personal examples, but why? They say it reinforces the content, which is another way of saying it makes your point more memorable, strengthens your point. It gives you a clear writing voice so that they will start to think of you as a real person. It will help you stand out from the crowd. It will engage, involve and interest your reader, and it helps your writing stand out and grabs the reader's attention. So I read this from the examiner's report, and almost in 2 pages, they mention anecdotes about 7, 8 times. So it's really, really going to help you. Yes, if I was talking about school uniform being banned, these 2 people are giving opinions. It's much more interesting than just talking about it normally. Okay, so here's some examples. If your question was write a speech on the topic of embarrassing moments, you'd maybe write 7 or 8 sentences about it, but then in the last couple of sentences, bring yourself into it. When I was at school, I called my teacher mum in front of the whole class. I think we've probably all been there. Again, if the speech was on the benefit of having a pet, you could do a paragraph about one benefit, maybe that pet's being clever, and then the last couple of sentences, bring yourself into it. I once had a border collie. She was so smart. Every morning I'd open up the front door and she'd run out, pick up my post and deliver it to me at the table. So horror films, everyone likes horror films, don't they? So see if you can think of, here are some horror movie anecdotes. So say if you had a question about horror films are a waste of time, blah, 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 for and against. Here's some anecdotes. I once watched it so late at night I couldn't sleep for days afterwards. Every creak of my old house sounded like the demon was in my room. After seeing The Ring, I couldn't bring myself to check the bathroom mirror at night without turning on the lights first. I was convinced that Samara would be staring back at me. So feel free to read the others. And pause. So here's some sentence starters for anecdotal writing. I once saw, a friend told me, I spoke to, I can remember when. Also, you could do dates, so last summer, comma, or when I was a child, comma. Yeah. So the idea is that here is a letter. It's a little bit light on word count. EDUCAS is 300 to 400 words. It's not quite getting there. So, but if we add anecdotes to the last couple of sentences or 3 or 4 sentences of our paragraphs, we go from this to this. It really does bump up your paragraphs to use anecdotal writing. So I'll show you some examples from my lessons. So one question we looked at was a letter about a reader has written to the local newspaper's opinion column and stated Christmas is overrated. I can't wait for it to be over each year. Okay, this is what they started with. So we're going to try and bump that up. So the information, so the point, my topic sentence, why Christmas is good, is I put it's good for movies. So I put, firstly, Christmas is great for movies. As soon as December the 1st rolls around, festive films start to appear on our screens. Even though we've probably seen these films hundreds of times, we still enjoy them like we were watching them for the first time. Who can forget A Muppet's Christmas Carol or the final scene from Elf? They are timeless, semicolon. It makes people feel happy. Okay, now I'm going to add my anecdote, telling a little story from my life about why I like Christmas movies. Every year I watch Die Hard, and it is a Christmas film before you say it isn't, on Christmas Eve with mince pie, and I can't wait to December the 24th to watch it again. Who doesn't love a Christmas movie? I've got my brackets there. So again, I've got a paragraph now that was probably four sentences. It's now gone up to 8. So I've got my topic sentence in yellow. In blue, I've got my information section explaining why Christmas is great for movies, and my anecdote sections in green, where I've got a little story about my experience with Christmas movies, which the whole idea is it proves my point. So my anecdote proves my topic sentence, my point, that Christmas is great for movies. I've also got in here some advanced punctuation. I've got a semicolon, and I've got some brackets, which are good things to do as well. Okay, so now I've gone from that with my paragraph to that, really bumped it up. Let's look at another one. This was a letter again about our festival's a waste of time, so it was for and against. And my student, for the most part, said festival was really good, but she just said on the other side of the argument that maybe it's quite easy to get lost at a festival because there's no phone service, because you're in the middle of the field sometimes and you've never been there before. So again, she started with that, just 3 or 4 sentences, a little bit low in word count. And so this is our information. It's so easy to lose your friends at a festival. When exploring, it's easy to get isolated with all the stages and stalls around you. Have all your friends study the map of the festival grounds. Be old school, semicolon. Grab some hard copies of the maps as well, or even print them out. After entering the gates, take a walk with your group to not only sightsee, but to have a real feel of where everything is. Have at least one person go with you everywhere. Okay, so again, it's 4 or 5 sentences, it's 6 sentences actually. It's okay. I mean, it is a good paragraph, but if we add an anecdote, it's going to improve it even more. So her anecdote about being lost was, I once got horribly lost at a festival. I was so confused by the signs, I turned in circles looking desperately for the correct exit, until a very concerned looking lady came over to ask me if I needed a cup of tea and a sit down. From then on, I always made sure I had a map of the festival with me. So again, that's 4 sentences, so now it's bumped it up to 10. Yeah, so 10 sentences. And again, my anecdote proves my point that it is easy to lose your friends at a festival. Yeah, so I've gone from that to that. Really improved my paragraph, almost doubled it. Okay, last one we're looking at, a speech this time. You've been asked to deliver a speech to your college class on the topic of the internet as essential for life in 2025. So for and against, of 99% of people I think are going to say it is essential. And the point this student was making, that it makes shopping really good, the internet. Okay, so again, she started with that, which is okay, too low really. And this is her information, her topic sentence. Firstly, the internet is great for shopping. You can get anything you need online with websites like Amazon. It's very convenient. You can shop from any computer or mobile phone with an internet connection at any time, while avoiding the need to travel, pay for parking and queuing. There is a lot more choice than shops on the high street. So it's 4 sentences. It's very basic, very simple. So this one would definitely need to be improved. So again, add my anecdote. Last summer, I was looking for a new beauty product, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the local shops. It was so frustrating. I went online and found it on Google in about 2 minutes. I always check online first now, as it saved me so much time. So there, 4 sentences, takes me up to 8 sentences. I'm going from that to that. Again, nice paragraph now. Okay, so remember, anecdotes are really good for word count. They will make your paragraphs detailed. Remember, your anecdote should always prove your topic sentence of your paragraph.